We risked our lives and traveled to a country that the world has literally abandoned. A place that has seen a 90% crash in tourism, and most people are too scared to visit because of the political unrest and terrifying headlines.
Myanmar, a country in the grip of a war largely forgotten by the outside world.
Is burning.
Myanmar is in the grip of a brutal civil conflict.
Buildings left in ruin.
Press freedom in the country is restricted. Hundreds of journalists have been jailed.
But we still wanted to visit. We were ready to risk it all because inside this so-called off-limits country lies one of the most magical, untouched ancient cities. Welcome to Myanmar, and deep within it is the lost kingdom of Bagan. Here time has frozen. Over 2,000 ancient temples rise from the earth and it is untouched by modernity. We spent 3 days in Bagan and it felt like we stepped into another century. No crowds, no noise, just history whispering through the wind. To reach Bagan, we took a flight from Yangon, which was the earlier capital of Myanmar. It's a 2-hour flight, but do check well in advance as the frequency is less and it doesn't operate daily. And another very important travel tip I'm going to give you here is that if you want to visit Myanmar, do get a local guide. With everything that's going on in the country, it's a necessity to get things done faster. Also, do not carry your drone to Myanmar if you don't have prior permissions. We as travel content creators took permission from the tourism board well in advance, but even after that, it wasn't a very smooth experience at the airport. So 2 hours later, we finally landed in Bagan. And the first thing we noticed was this beautiful airport. It isn't your regular steel and glass, but beautiful monastery designs with golden decorations and unique rooftops. It's like pagodas with runways. You get off the plane and you feel you've landed somewhere sacred. And the sacred energy is infectious. You literally feel time paused centuries ago in Bagan. This ancient city is home to over 2,200 surviving pagodas, stupas and temples. And just imagine, originally more than 10,000 were built between 9th and 13th centuries. Now you all must be wondering, why so many pagodas were built? Well, during the 9th to 13th century, the Bagan dynasty which ruled this region, the kings believed that building a pagoda was the greatest way to earn spiritual merit. As Buddhism spread from India to Myanmar, it flourished here, and Bagan became a Buddhist kingdom, and building pagodas became an obsession. Every single pagoda has a story inside it, and you shall see Buddha statues, ancient murals and Pali inscriptions. All of these tell stories from the previous lives of Buddha. This place is a semi-desert, but inside these pagodas it's always cool. Sun rays find their way inside perfectly to give them that movie-like dim lighting. The air and energy feels very sacred. And inside these pagodas and temples, do remember to look up, as they all have some significant important paintings on the ceilings. As you wander through Bagan, you will spot monks in maroon robes quietly walking through pagodas. You will also notice young, novice monks laughing and playing. They're all here because Bagan is their spiritual homeland. You will also find lots of female monks here. They come here to meditate, study scriptures, and live a simple, mindful life that was lived centuries ago. Early morning, you will find monks in markets and outside houses walking barefoot with alms bowl. They only survive on the food given to them by the locals. We were lucky enough to organize a food donation ceremony for the monks, also known as Satuditha. It is a very spiritual act of compassion, respect and connection in Myanmar culture. Seeing their calm, grateful expressions and hearing the soft chants of blessings was genuinely humbling. So the monks in Bagan are not just a photo opportunity, but a reminder and a symbol of stillness, reflection and timeless devotion. And beyond the pagodas and the monks are the people of Bagan, who leave such an impactful impression. Warm smiles, heartfelt conversations, genuine warmth, quiet strength. You could go on and on talking to them about their simple, humble ways of life. There is a calm wisdom here, as if the past has whispered its lessons into the hearts of the people. No wonder it has survived the invasions, earthquakes and even the Mongols, and this timeless place still glows with sheer resilience. Here are my recommendations for some must-do activities in Bagan. Wake up early by 5 a.m. and do witness the magical sunrise over these golden stupas. It's quiet, it's still, it's holy. It's like watching the whole world wake up, but something inside you is also waking up. Bagan is a vast landscape, so go get yourself an e-bike and explore the entire area. Frankly, an e-bike is the best way to get around the entire area of Bagan, and you never know, you might just come across some hidden gems. Three temples that you should definitely visit are the iconic White Ananda Temple, the largest temple which is Dhammayanghi Temple, and also the Shwezigon Pagoda, which is the famous golden one. The most famous activity right now is the hot air balloon ride. At $400, it is expensive, but I would definitely recommend it because when you rise, the landscape below you of all the pagodas is a scene from the movies. It makes you feel you're floating through history. And I'm telling you, such a scene you will never get to witness anywhere else. You also have to do the traditional horse cart ride, which feels very personal and poetic. It has an old school charm, and the car driver will even tell you stories and myths from the past. It is slow travel, and that is exactly what's magical about it. I found it to be one of the most romantic experiences. It'll cost you $8 for 1 hour, and I would recommend you to do this during sunset. Bagan is very famous for its handicrafts, so do pick up some exclusive masterpieces. Now let's talk about the same topic that I started the vlog with, how the media is calling Myanmar unsafe. Well, that's utter nonsense. It's very safe for tourists, but do keep a few things in mind. Getting an eSIM is very difficult, and your WhatsApp hardly works. Even after using VPN, it's really slow. Yes, the internet is very slow, and even in the main city of Yangon, after 7 p.m. almost everything shuts. You can't even call for food online. We were in Yangon only for a day, but we stayed in Melia Yangon, which is very safe, and it has the best views from the room. Myanmar has a lot of Indian influence, so you'll get some Indian restaurants and tasty food. When in Yangon, you have to visit the famous Shwedagon Pagoda. This golden pagoda is not just a tourist attraction, but a spiritual powerhouse. People of all ages are praying, meditating. There is a vibration of chants, smell of incense, and the rhythmic gongs. And all of these create a hypnotic atmosphere. Whether you are Buddhist or not, you feel connected to something much bigger, and there's a moment of spiritual joy. Just walk around the pagoda and absorb everything. We would take this moment to thank the Shwedagon Pagoda Association and the Tourism Ministry of Myanmar for allowing us to fly the drone here. Nobody has ever been given permission to fly the drone here, and we were the first. So for that, we are truly grateful. What you see here are jammer cutters that are required to cut the jammers, and only then you can fly the drone. We are taking back a lot of spiritual energy from this place. We also have to thank Myanmar Tourism for opening its doors of the famous Jade Buddha statue for us. This is one of the most expensive Buddha statues in the world. These doors are never opened for anybody, but we were fortunate enough and were granted close access to the statue, and we were lucky enough to soak in the energy and take blessings up close. Another must-do activity in Yangon is the sunset boat ride. You start with feeding the seagulls and then you hop on to your luxury boat. Enjoy some drinks, some good food as the sun sets into the river. Yangon has some beautiful sunsets, and hence this boat ride is a must. Our hearts feel full. We came here curious and are leaving deeply moved. The air in Bagan is so sacred and it has a soul. It still is pure, untouched, and not exploded by tourists. What we are taking back is peace, perspective, and gratitude. Bagan truly deserves to be on your bucket list because there is nothing like this elsewhere in the world. Forget the media headlines because it's absolutely safe. Here, silence, history, and beauty exist in its raw form. If you love this video, then do like, share, and comment. And please do subscribe to the channel so that I keep getting you these amazing travel vlogs.